Hi, everybody. I'm David Mashian, and I'm Dave the Real Estate Guy. Today, we're going to talk about Chapter 21 Commercial Real Estate Brokerage Boot Camp. We're going to talk about prospecting, door knocking, right? We didn't talk about that. Door knocking is actually a very effective way of generating business, and it really depends on the type of property you're working with and the market area, right? So if you want to generate tenant rep business, door knocking is great. You just go around. You can get a lot of tenants who maybe want to expand, or maybe they're tired of their location they're at, and you may be able to represent them in getting a new place, right? People do that in office buildings all the time. They want to move these tenants somewhere else. You can do that. You might be able to even door knock in, let's say, industrial complexes where it could be an owner occupied property. And you just go there, door knock. Sometimes these industrial places, a lot of them are owned by the owner who's operating out of that site. Okay, the owner is operating out of it's an owner occupied property. They have their business selling widgets or making widgets out of that location. So you can literally talk to that person right there. All right. So, like residential real estate is very easy to door knock. People live in their home. You knock on their door, they're there. That's where they live. Right? Commercial is not quite the same. If you door knock on an apartment building, chances are they're not living in the apartment building. The owner's not living in the apartment building. Same with retail. The owner's not working out of the retail. But sometimes they are. But there's ways of sorting it out. So if you find out what's an owner occupied retail, I've literally seen that, as well as office. Those are great ways of door knocking. But industrial and for leasing, it's really good. So for door knocking, you want to make sure you have a laminated map of your marketed area at your desk. Now I know this is a day of technology, no, but but I really think having a map that is physical on your wall or on your desk that shows your market area makes a difference in how you see your market. If it's in your computer and you're scrolling through Google Maps or whatever, it's never quite as tangible as it is when you see it on in physical form. I had literally a map. When I had my cubicle, I had it in my cubicle, and when I had my office, I made a bigger one that I put in my office wall. So I knew exactly what my market was. I knew it by zip code. I saw it every time I'm calling. When they said some street, I look at the map. I instantly know where they're talking about. So it's critical that you. I think it to me. I recommend it strongly for you to do that. It's a different dimension of seeing your market. And if you're going to door knock, you should mark the streets you plan to canvass. I've literally done years of door knocking, at least 4 years of door knocking. I had a map on the wall, and when I wanted to hit certain places, I would just mark that street with a marker. Let's say a red marker to cover. And once I covered it, I did it with a black marker. So I already knew I covered that street until that whole map was covered. That's how I did it. You can mark the streets with green, like I'm saying on the PowerPoint. And once you've covered it, make it red, whatever color you want. But make sure there's a distinction between what you want to cover and what you have covered. Okay? And make door knocking part of your weekly plan. It's great. Sometimes you just need to get out of the office, go walk your market area, go see what's going on, talk to the people there. You never know. Door knocking, you're going to know the neighborhood or wherever you're canvassing better than anybody else. You're going to know it better than anybody else. It's amazing. You just do a door knock one day, you'll know it better than most people. It won't take that long. So your goals in door knocking are to meet 3 property owners minimum per day. Okay, instead of 1, right? It's 3, because actually the odds of meeting a property owner in their property is much higher. So we're kind of up in the game. Go out there and door knock. You're going to have a higher effectiveness in terms of getting appointments, because literally when you walk in there and say so and so here, there's so and so, you got your appointment. There they are. This is the person you wanted to meet, the property owner. You got it. right? And then you can actually get one listing a week. It's a very effective way of doing business. And I would say less than 1% easily of people are doing this. Less than 1%. So make sure you do it. Now, when you're door knocking, you want to be prepared. You want to have business cards. I know nowadays people are into this, QR code stuff. I'm like, look, if they're not there, you're going to have to leave something behind, right? With the employee or with whoever. You're going to have something. And part of door knocking is you're going to have to leave something there so the person you're trying to reach knows that you were there because you left your materials there, right? So leaving your business card there and having a trifold flyer, right? It doesn't have to be that thing. It could just be a simple one pager, a flyer, right? With your picture, what you do, maybe a listing or whatever, right? You want to leave these behind, your business card and some flyer. Now, you want to also have purchase agreements, lease agreements, whatever you want to have. These kind of listing agreements, you want to have those with you because you got to be ready for the deal when it comes. So if somebody's ready to buy, have a purchase agreement right there. If somebody's ready to list, have a listing agreement right there. Obviously you don't know the name of the people, so you can leave those blank, but you can put your commission in there. Leave that printed, right? Another thing that's good to leave behind is your commercial marketing book. Now these are more expensive. It's much more expensive than a flyer. But if you think it's worth it, leave behind a marketing book. That's the kind of value add proposition that I was talking to you about before. Just leave one of those books behind. Okay? You can also include a bio sheet or a brag sheet, how many deals you've closed, how many listings you have, whatever else, right? And listings, right? A list of listings, or it could be your copies of your listings, right? It could be listings you have, the company has, your mentor has, whatever, your team. These are things to leave behind. So when, let's say, John Doe, Jane Doe comes back and sees at their desk is waiting your business card with a flyer and maybe a few listings that you have, they're going to look at that and say, oh, okay, this person was here. Okay. All right, maybe I should talk to them. They probably won't call you, but when you call them, they're going to remember you. Say, you know what? I was there and I spoke to Susie at the front desk. Now, when you talk to somebody, make sure you get their name. Because let's say you talk to Susie at the front desk and you ask Susie, excuse me, ma'am, what's your name? My name is Susie. Great. You write down Susie's name when when you go to call back, you say, I came by yesterday and I talked to Susie and I left some materials behind. Did you happen to get them? Yes, I did. Okay, great. Now they know you were there. It's real. That ups your credibility a lot than just some random caller who doesn't know who they're calling. And now you got their attention. So make sure when you're calling, do these things. It's very important. All these things add up to higher probability brokerage. Here's a sales tip. Cold call or door knock after 5 p.m. when the gatekeeper, the secretary or receptionist or the front desk has gone home. Believe it or not, people, okay, they're done. 95, they're done with their work at 5 p.m. All right. But if you call after 5, the gatekeeper is gone. The secretary, whoever's blocking your calls is gone. The owner's going to pick up the call. I've had such good luck when I don't have to go through somebody that's blocking my calls. The owner's there and they're ready to talk. They say, okay, you got him. You don't need to play dodgeball with the receptionist anymore. Okay? Also, cold call or door knock on Saturdays when the gatekeeper and employees are all off. And the owner will still probably be working. Owners are working. Employees, they're done. If somebody owns a business or owns a property, or that's their business, that's their baby. They're working on it. They're going to be there. And when you call them, they're going to listen And chances are you're going to have a pretty good discussion when there's no other people around them causing distractions. So make sure you do these. This is a kind of after 5 or on weekends. Sundays kind of like a little hit or miss. It might be kind of a they're they're going to church or something like that. It's your call. All right, we're off to chapter 22 next. I'll talk to you soon.